Hi, I'm Danae Shanti. Welcome to Story Time. Today's story is going to be a bit mystical and all about my adventure with the Ascended Masters, one of the many adventures I've had with the Ascended Masters. Let me take you through the hero formula because that's what we're learning to work with here at Story Time. 7 easy steps to your inner hero, your God spark within. Who are you at the time? What is your predicament? How do you ask the universe for help? How do you receive your guidance? What choices do you make from the guidance you've received? What actions do you take? And what are your results? All 7 steps. Let's go into the story. Now, this was a very, very, very long time ago. Who I was at the time was a person who had just had a spiritual awakening and was learning through direct experience about angels and people's spirit guides and all kinds of things in the mystical realms of that time. Who I was at the time was someone who just arrived in Mount Shasta, California for the first time in my life. I had read about Mount Shasta. I understood that the Ascended Masters used Mount Shasta as their home base, and I had just arrived in the town of Mount Shasta, met a beautiful woman and her son, and they happened to own a cabin at the base of Mount Shasta. So they took me there on a full moon night, and I had 4 days to myself and 3 nights. In the moment that I'm in the predicament it's full moon, I'm outside at nighttime because I felt guided to go out and just behold the mountain. And I was alone, I felt safe, and I started feeling a lot of energy, like the world was quaking around me as I was gazing at the mountain. And I started feeling a little unsettled, and my predicament was the world was shaking around me and I was feeling unsettled and I wasn't sure what was happening and I didn't know what to do about it. Next thing I know, there's a parting above the Mount Shasta in the ethers, like etheric curtains pulling back, rippling back. And there in front of me are the Ascended Masters flanked on either side from a center point coming out like this. And they started talking to me all at once, like it sounded like pleasant thunder, if you can imagine that, the booming voices in my head. And I started feeling very overwhelmed. So I asked them for help. I said, I'm feeling a little shaky. I'm overwhelmed by the amount of energy and light and sound that you're producing. Can you help me make it easier on me? And so they all tuned their voices to one voice, and it was that of Saint Germain. So I went from the predicament of feeling overwhelmed to asking for help and then getting the response of the voices coming into one voice. So as I was standing there, they started telling me some really important things about what they observe about me. Earlier in the day, I was at Mount Shasta, up on the mountain, and I had a very special crystal that had been with me for years through my spiritual awakening, and it felt kind of like my baby. And I had put that crystal into the ground and did some prayers and meditation and basically said, I devote my life to serving spirit for the rest of my life. However I can serve, let it be done and show me the way. So here I was now with the Ascended Masters, and they were saying to me, we witness your devotion and your desire to serve, and we're here to respond to that and to support you in that. And I said, okay. And I'm just kind of standing there. And then all of a sudden, there was a whoosh sound, and I believe it was my spirit just went flying out of my body. I heard a vacuum, my spirit went flying out of my body. And then I was standing there. And what it felt like to me, I was very much aware that my body was a shell and that the spirit that occupies my body was not there. It was somewhere, but it wasn't in my body. And there's an ego function, that we all have as human beings. So I was suspended there like an empty shell and very aware of it. And I was getting really, really uncomfortable. It was very unnerving. And the feeling kept growing and nothing was changing, and I was getting really scared. And I said to them, I'm getting really, really scared, and you can't leave me like this because I can't function like this in the world. And I asked again for help, and they responded by letting me know it'll just be like another moment. And I'm trying to track the steps right now. Who I was, what my predicament was, asking for help, receiving the guidance. So now they're talking to me. They're walking me through this experience. And then they say to me, we want to give you energy to work with. So they're asking me, they're giving me the choice to say yes or no. And of course I say yes, because I don't want to be there in this suspended empty shell state for the rest of my life. And the next thing that happened was they parted further, and from the center came walking forward this etheric golden female being, just beautiful, shining light. And they presented her to me, and they said to me, this is the part of your spirit that just left your body who will remain here at Mount Shasta with the Ascended Masters. This is the energy that you will now co-house in your body. So your etheric body will stay here, and you'll be bringing that energy through your physical form. And with that, a big whoosh, and this energy came pouring into my body. So I'm watching this luminous feminine being up there on the mountain, and I'm feeling the resonance and the match to her spirit taking hold in my body. That is the action that happened because I said yes to the choice. The action was receiving that spirit into my body. With that, I felt like I was electrified, not in a bad way, just super, like light was pouring out of my skin. And they said, go inside and take a bath with Epsom salts and ground and, have a light meal and go to sleep and integrate this for the night. And so that's what I did. And the result of that experience all these 20, 30 years later is my life has been keenly guided from within by Eagle's point of view, or higher self perspective. And most of the choices I've made and experiences I've had are flavored with that higher self intelligence, infusing and informing my human personality on how to guide my life. And now here we are with the ability to convey all that and offer these teachings, everything that's been given me, that I can turn around and offer to you, because I'm finally at a point in my life where I can have a way to communicate what's happened to me in a way that makes sense through steps that are digestible and that would be easy for you to apply. And it's taken me a very long time and a lot of trial and error to land in this place. Even though I've been guided the whole way, our human personalities have their habits, and I sure do. So that's my story for today, and I want to review with you the hero formula so you can put it to use in your life. Here are the steps again. Who are you at the time? What is your predicament? How do you ask for help? How do you hear or receive your guidance and recognize it? What choices do you make from what your guidance gives you? What actions do you take based on your choices? And what are your results? As always, I love to hear from you. I love your stories. Please feel free to send them to me here at this email address. And I look forward to moving forward with you every Sunday by 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time here on Storytime. You'll have a new video to work with. So be well. Thanks for joining me on the journey. Remember your God spark within, and I'll see you next time.